Hey guys, today I want to talk to you guys about something that's very important, very meaningful in my life, and that has to do with mental illness. It's not the first time I've opened up to you guys about such a topic, but today I want to talk about the incident, the robbery, the thing that started a chain reaction in my life of an uphill battle that I've had plentiful of victories now, but let's be honest, it started with a bunch of defeats. Now, before I start with this testimony, with this me opening up my heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, tell all your friends about this channel, and let's get started. Firstly, guys, this is very vulnerable for me. So as tough as it may be for me to open up, it may be even for you guys to listen, because there's a lot of details I'm gonna add and I'm gonna say and I'm gonna talk about. Viewer discretion is advised. I will say a lot of profanity in this video, but I'm gonna give you a testimony. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna quote a lot of things that happen, and there will be profanity. So if you're against profanity, I'm just letting you know right now, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's talk about this, guys. We all remember the best, awesomest moments of our lives, the best days of our lives. It could be your graduation, it could be maybe your wedding, it could be your first kiss. You know, at the moment, these were probably the best things of at the moment, and you remember them, and they probably stay trapped there. They just stay embedded in your memory. I, for one, I have pretty crazy memory. Like, my memory is pretty good. It's pretty spot on. I really don't forget things. For me to forget something takes a lot. My mom sometimes fights with me because she's like, "Oh, you're mixing it up," and I'm like, "No, Mom, you're mixing it up." Unfortunately, the ugly also has the same power to stay trapped in our thoughts and our memories. Me, I will never forget that day, April 17th, 2018, which was a Tuesday, 11 p.m. I was getting home from work. I was actually at the house of some friends. I was at the house of a girl that I was talking to, and that day I remember I went to go buy some stuff at a a wholesale they had at the company that she worked with at the time. So they let people come in and they let them buy and do all the purchasing they wanted to do, and we got things at a very discounted, cheap price. I probably got I can get something that's probably worth $400. I got it for like $10. Like, it was interesting, and I'm not gonna say the company's name because I don't want to get lawsuit or copyrighted. You know what I'm talking about, right? I get home, I park the car. Now, my neighborhood is not a really bad neighborhood. I'm probably where I live is pretty much the last street before the nice area of the South Bay starts, which is Del Air, Redondo's not that far away, Manhattan's not that far away, El Segundo is super duper close. I live in the city of Hawthorne, which is still considered the South Bay, but I live in like the nice side of Hawthorne. Now, Hawthorne is divided between, like, I'm guessing the west side and the east side. Hawthorne, which is the street La Brea that turns into Hawthorne, that goes all the way down to Palos Verdes, that street pretty much divides the hood side and the nice side. I live on the west side, which is the nicer side, and everything on the east side is kind of the ghetto side. And like I said, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I grew up in those areas, guys. But never did I ever imagine I was gonna get robbed one day. I was gonna get beat up. I was gonna get mauled. So what happened was that I remember I was talking to a disciple on the phone too that day. Point being was that I was driving. I get home and I had to work the next day. I remember I was gonna get training to work at a new department at MI, and I was like, I think I should leave the car outside instead of putting it inside the house. So I was driving down the street, right, which is right off Imperial. So I pull into the street I live on, and I'm just like, man, should I park the car outside or should I park the car inside the house? But I was like, I'm gonna park it outside the house, because I'm gonna have to wake up early and I don't want to wake up anybody and move the cars, etc., etc. So I just busted a U-turn at the end of the street to park my car in front of the house. Now, here's something that's very interesting. There is never really street parking on my neighborhood, ever. But somehow that night, April 17th, there was parking in front of my house, literally 20 yards away from my house. It was so close by. I'm somebody that's very, very observant. I can see things from a mile away. My ears are open, my eyes are open. I'm not that type of person that's like, oh, what just happened? So I'm not that type of person. I can't. My parents raised me to be a very visual person, audible person, to always just be looking at your surroundings. Then again, I did grow up. I went to a very hoodie neighborhood, very hoodie middle school, and it kind of got me to like be more of a like an alert person. I played sports, I played music, so I've always been somebody that's very alert and very, I just see the field. I envision the field, I play the room. I did not see a parked car that had people in my car at all. I did not see the people that were gonna rob me. I did not see them. I did not hear them. I did not notice them. I didn't see none of that. I did not see them, guys. I kid you not. For me not to see this parked car that was not even parked in a parking spot, it was parked in somebody's driveway. I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. And to this day, it causes me so much anxiety because that's something that would never happen to me. If this was another day, I would have noticed that there was a suspicious car parked near me. To this day, that just makes me very upset. I parked my car and I did something that I never really ever do. I decided to bring down my bass, a Wilkins 5-string, a J bass, matte and black. Probably one of the most sexiest bass, if not the sexiest bass I own. And even though I love my bass that I got now, which is a Wilkins as well, 5-string, a J bass, that bass has so much sentimental value that I didn't even know what the hell sentimental value meant until I lost that bass. Man, I decided to bring down my bass. I normally don't bring down my bass during the weekdays because I play every day at MI. I do teacher's assistant, I play gigs, I do shows, I do rehearsals, I'm always in the studio. So during the weekdays, I'm always like, I'm just gonna leave my bass in the trunk. But I decided to bring my bass down. Not only did I decide to bring my bass down, I was also carrying a lot of cash. I think between $500 and $700 cash in my backpack that I was gonna deposit. But it got late and I didn't want to go deposit because I didn't want to put my life at risk and somebody might jump me as I deposit money. The irony, right? And then in my backpack, I also had, and this was my nice Herschel burgundy backpack that had my computer, had a computer case in there, and it was such a beautiful backpack. I got that backpack a couple of days before I started MI as a student, and I was already graduated. I had already graduated, so that backpack was like kind of the journey backpack I had through my MI run as a student. I also had a bunch of music there that I was writing, composing, a couple of hard drives. Luckily, the night before, I had left my computer at my church because I was using it to teach at Tabernacle at a worship night, and I was giving a lesson, and I forgot to put the computer back in my backpack, so I left the computer at church. So I literally had the bass in my back, I had the backpack in front of me, I don't know if you can see it, and I had a gift I had bought for my mom at that sale that I was at my friend's, that my friend invited me to. Not only that, I had my phone, I had my watch, I had my car keys, I think that's all I had. Oh, and I had a third backpack that had brand new gym clothes that I had to use and brand new shoes that I just bought. So literally, I was gonna cross the street, guys. It was no more than 7 steps to cross the street, even less. 5 steps to cross the street, and another like 3 steps to get into the front yard of my house. As I closed the trunk, I turned to make my first steps onto the street. This car just pulls up in front of me, just zooms up in front of me. It stops right where my knees are, at knee level, and literally I almost got ran over. I jumped back, and I was like, what the fudge? I thought it was my brother, I thought it was a friend, I thought it was somebody from church playing a cruel joke on me, and I was like, what the fudge is going on? Ha ha ha. But then I realized it was not a joke. It was not a game, guys. I was getting robbed. I was getting robbed in front of my house, literally. Feet, like no more than 20 feet, 30 feet from my house, guys. It's such... I was scared because I knew what was about to happen. So what I did is I started observing everything and anything that was happening. I started observing the car. I tried to look for the license plate, how many people were in the car, how they look, what were they wearing, how their voice sounded, did they have any tattoos, did they have any scars in their face, eye color, the tone of their voice, what key was their voice in, could I mimic it? I started observing. I tried to observe as much as I could because I know that I was gonna make a police report. I never really thought I was gonna die that night, which I will get into that later, maybe not today, but in a different vlog. I was like, okay, the worst that can happen is I might just get hit. So this guy comes out, actually 2 guys come out, there's 3 guys. This guy comes out, and he's like, give me your shit, nigga. And I'm like, what the fudge? I really thought it was my friend. He's like, give me your shit, nigga. And then the second guy comes out, or I'm pretty sure it was already out, but he literally goes back into the car and grabs a gun and just clocks it. He's like, I'm gonna blow your fucking brains off. Putting the gun right in my face, guys. Literally, I've never had a gun pointed I never had a gun pointed at me in my life. And this guy just comes like, I'm gonna blow your fucking brains off. And that guy's like, give me your shit, nigga. Give me your shit. Give me your things, nigga. Like, and I was like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? As I looked at everything, I know there was a third guy who was driving. I saw into the driver's side, and I saw how this guy was just smirking at me, like sitting the day at the office for him. It's like, give me your shit, nigga. Give me your shit. I didn't budge. I was trying to wait as much as I could. I didn't laugh. I didn't smile. Freaking laughs in these moments. I didn't laugh. I didn't do anything. I just had both of my backpacks like this, and I was just looking at the guy in his eyes like this. I was taller than the guy that was telling me, give me your shit. The guy with the gun, he was at least maybe 6'3". He was taller than me. He was like 6'3", 6'4". He was tall. He was pretty lanky. He had long hair, dreads. He's like, give me your shit. Give me your shit, nigga. And I was like, do I know you guys? Like, that's the first thing that went through my head. It's like, do I know you guys? Do I know who you guys are? Can I make out your voices? Can I make out your faces? Have I seen you somewhere? As I was already, as much as it seems like 30-40 minutes went by, probably only like 5 seconds went by. After a couple of seconds later, the guy's like, give me your shit. He starts grabbing my stuff. And then I remember I just went to defense mode. So I put my hands like this, and I was still holding my backpacks like this. I wanted to milk as much time as I could to see if a neighbor would notice, if a car would drive by, if somebody would make a racket, would come and help. I just went like this, and I was like, please. I was like, please, God, send somebody, please. The guy was like, give me your shit, nigga. Maybe a good 3 seconds, 4 seconds went by, and then that's when I felt the first blow. Boom, right here. I still remember it. Boom, and I was like, oh, there it is. And then boom, he just started swinging at me. Guys, when it comes to fight or flight, me, Leo, I am a fighter. I fight. I don't run away from problems. I don't run away when I'm scared. I stand there and I find a solution. I see what's wrong. I try to debunk whatever's scaring me. I don't run away. I fight. And I can get very defensive. I can get very, like I said, I grew up in a very tough neighborhood. Many people don't know that. People think that I was a privileged kid that had everything handed to him, but I still had to go through a process of growing up in the hood, being, careful about everything. I wasn't handed anything. Everything I have today, my parents taught me how to earn things and how to work my ass off. My hood instincts kicked in, and I was like, I can't win. If I fight back, this guy might shoot me with a gun. I might die tonight. But somehow deep inside of me, I knew I wasn't gonna die. So I felt just punches going everywhere in my face. Bop, 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 bop on my jaw. I got hit in the eye. I got hit in the nose. I got hit across my face. I was just getting hit everywhere. The guy started trying to pull off the backpacks. Guys, this guy was screaming at the point of top of his lungs. Give me your shit, nigga. Give me your shit. You're gonna fucking die tonight. Just pulling everything off. And I will never forget the things this guy told me. This is exactly what he was telling me. The guy with the gun was like, I'm gonna blow your fucking head off. Give him your shit. Another 10 seconds went by. I was just being defensive. All of a sudden, I just felt my head just go plop. What I believe is that the guy with the gun hit me with the butt of the gun in the back of my head. Because all I heard was, and I just blacked out. As I was blacked out, I was like, okay, Leo, you need to let go of the things now. Nobody's going to come help you. Nobody's going to come help you. If I fight back, I will probably lose and die.